Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles, and I'll be your host for the Voice of the Valley. And I want to introduce someone that's very, very special to all of our communities, but has become a surrogate brother to me. And his name is Mr. David Vasquenza. Welcome.
Thank you, Charles. Charles Taylor III, CT3. It is a blessing to be with you. Thank you for hosting this today.
Let's jump right in it, David. So, what is Wins for Life?
Yeah, well, it's my life for sure. Wins for Life is a company that provides educational services and motivational events, and that covers events and services for not just children and students, but also adults.
When was your business established?
Technically, 2004.
Really?
Was when it was established as an LLC, but at that time it was more of a part-time work for me because I did have a full-time job. And then in 2006, I took some major risks and left my job and dedicated myself to Wins for Life. So,
Awesome,
yeah.
Awesome. That sounds like me with the Voice of the Valley.
Yes. And speaking of which, it is a pleasure to be down in Shenandoah Valley. Such a beautiful area with beautiful folks, and I love what you're doing in terms of your contributions to this community.
Thank you. Me too. Go back and forth.
Yeah.
So, where is the location? Because I'm lost there.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm lost too. I've been traveling a lot.
I know.
And it's great to be in this area, but Manchester, Connecticut is the home for Wins for Life. But over the last several years now, it's really branched out. We've done events in 6 different states, and of course that includes Virginia. Been doing a lot of work in Georgia, which I've developed a base and a foundation. I have a small staff in Georgia. So although the home being in Connecticut, I feel like we have some homes away from homes.
Cool.
And Virginia and Georgia are at the top of that list. And in terms of the other states that Wins for Life has hosted events in, those include Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Virginia, and Georgia, and New Hampshire as well, recently this year.
Wow, we're growing in leaps and bounds. We're growing in leaps and bounds. And it tickles my fancy. So let's get a little bit more serious. What type of individuals or in groups or organizations that Wins for Life serve?
I appreciate you asking that because I'll start with the mission statement, which
Please.
sounds quite broad, but it is to assist as many people as possible in as many ways as possible. So in terms of the groups and the individuals, the athletic arena, specifically the sport of basketball, I'm a former college basketball coach. I've hosted almost 25 clinics at the Basketball Hall of Fame. So everything that we do in the realm of basketball covers the gamut. Clinics, camps, leagues, speaking engagements, etc. So we've got the athletic arena. Also, in terms of your question about individuals and groups, the educational arena. Schools, child care professionals. We host professional development, staff training workshops. Also, we'll speak at schools. We've done after-school programs. And Wins for Life does a lot of work for recreation departments as well. I've been a member of Connecticut Rec and Park Association, as well as Massachusetts, MRPA. I'll soon be joining Georgia, GRPA. So really, we're just trying to help a broad-based individuals as well as groups.
This has been challenging for you.
Yeah, well, life's challenging for all of us.
Yeah, it is. But you don't put a whole lot of meat on that plate. So, answer me this question. So, how can your business be an asset to the Shenandoah Valley?
Yeah, well, I'm proud to say that's underway. So, within the last 2 years, I've hosted multiple events here in Shenandoah Valley, and specifically tonight. We're in Augusta County Library. This is where we're hosting this wonderful podcast from. And later this evening, I'll be doing an author talk. I recently wrote a book called Reflections Upon Life, and it's a poetry book, and I'll be presenting that this evening. Most recently, last month, I was at the Residence Inn in Marriott. Shout out to those people. They're wonderful, and I know you know them. Yeah, so I did an author talk there as well. But prior to that, I think I've hosted 6 or 7 staff training workshops in Augusta County.
Okay. Oh, wow.
For professional development staff training needs in the childcare industry. And I've also hosted several basketball clinics at the YMCA. Their former executive director, Jeff Feith, if you haven't met him, he's an absolute winner, and he saw the value in what Wins for Life does. And certainly teaching basketball with my experience is, certainly the centerpiece, but honestly, the big driving force is to teach these young people some life lessons.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I've come up with the question that I want to ask my brother, and I really want to know, what is your professional experiences that you've done to get you where you're at?
Well, earlier we talked a little bit briefly about my coaching experience, which has been pretty much at every level: college, high school, AAU, and middle school. So that's one aspect of my career. Another aspect was I did work in special education for 20 years.
Really?
Yes, and I know that's dear to you.
Yeah.
You're involved in that realm.
Yes.
And, it afforded me some great learning experiences, professional experiences, while I was serving the individuals in group home settings as a counselor. And then also I became a staff trainer. In addition to that, in that same realm, I've worked in unified sports and also Special Olympics.
Great.
Yeah, so my career has blessed me with the opportunity to work with, more elite athletes through athletics, but also individuals that are challenged intellectually, physically, emotionally, etc.
Yes.
And you're familiar with that as well.
Yes. That's what I wanted to hear. Fantastic. So, what are some of the challenges that you're facing right now in the business?
Yeah, I think, to take the spotlight off me for a moment, I think just people are challenged in general these days. So I don't think my challenges are any more unique than others. In fact, I think, countless people have more challenges than I do. In terms of the business challenges, I can identify 2 aspects in my Wins for Life career, and that the front end, getting the business off the ground, that was challenging. I took a lot of risks, stories for another time. I lost some things along the way, whether they were relationships or home, etc. All for the journey, for the passion, for the mission.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
So to answer your question about challenges, the origin of Wins for Life, the beginning, was a challenging time period.
Yes.
For sure. But when we keep our eyes on the prize, when we're outside of ourselves, when we're in the business of serving others, then sometimes we won't get so caught up in the difficulties that we're experiencing because we're on a path or a mission to help others.
Yes.
Of course, the other challenging era for Wins for Life was a challenging era for everyone, which was during the COVID era. And the programming that Wins for Life provides is all in person. And we didn't convert to Zoom. We marched on, and so we had to learn about the protocols and the guidelines, not just nationally for the COVID era, but state to state. And I'm proud to say that we were able to maintain a large portion of our programming, although it had to be modified. It was still quite successful. I'll give you a statistic that supports that, and it was a very challenging era for sure. But in 2019, we had a fall basketball league. We were in our 9th year with that league, and it had grown every year. And in 2019, we had a little over 900 students.
Really?
Yes, in the league.
Wow.
And then COVID hit in 2020, and we fulfilled the protocols and dotted the I's and crossed the T's, and we still had 720 kids.
Fantastic.
Yeah, playing with masks on and following all the guidelines and rules, and it was a very challenging time period. but I felt blessed to provide an outlet
yeah.
for all those kids that might have been just stuck in their homes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with the ARC is concerned with the intellectual disabled and autism. They're stuck in their houses.
Yeah.
And even though this is about you and it, but just to emphasize, is to getting the kids and the adults out into the community and working in different organizations so that they feel that they are part of our community, which they are part of our community. So.
Thrilled to hear you use the word community. I know you're very married to that here.
Yes.
And that is the essence of what Wins for Life is about, which is community-based services.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the individuals that you're helping and serving, I think that there's more of a spotlight now on them than there has been before.
Yes.
And there's so many ways that we can help those folks. And Wins for Life, you'd asked me earlier, what can Wins do in the Shenandoah Valley? And I had mentioned the things that we have done, but I think that there's so much more, from motivational speaking engagements to providing, workshops and trainings to help people cope better with adversity, to develop mental strength.
Yes.
I think the greatest thing that any of us can do, and I'm talking to y'all right now, is service to others.
Yes.
And I think that is, in one quick answer, how can WINS help more in this area? It's continuing to provide services to enhance the holistic development of people intellectually, socially, emotionally, and of course physically.
Yes. Yes. Now I want to hear something from you. Okay. If you have people that are interested in developing or doing something of this magnitude and of this blessing for many, what would be your advice?
Yeah, I think, and you can relate to this, I think passion often drives purpose. And we can flip that too. I think when we have purposeful intentions in whatever realm of life, but in this case we're talking about professionally, if I were going to afford advice, I think whatever people are passionate about, right away that's part of your gift. Yeah. And I think that taking risks is, of course, healthy risks. Wins for Life, Stories for Another Time, took a lot of risks to establish this business.
Yes.
So for people that want to be entrepreneurs and people that want to, take some risks to follow, their ambition, I say to them, follow your instinct, follow your intuition. Don't worry about what other people might say. There's always going to be naysayers and second guessers. But I think when we march on with a purpose and with a mission and we stay attached to that, really good things can happen. Yeah. And another thing that we're really trying to help people with is self-dialogue, right? How we talk to ourselves. So, the greatest conversation we're ever going to have is this one right here. And for those people that are taking risks and going through difficult times now, I think that it's really important that they are forgiving and loving to themselves. Because we all can, get down and have doubt, and that's very human. Yeah, very natural. But when we stay attached to our purpose or our why, that really does help us get through difficult time periods. And I know you can relate, right? Yeah, right? We've shared some stories about that.
Yes.
New emoji face right there.
Oh, you caught that one. So, I can't even express what a joy, and I'm not saying happy, I don't believe in the word happy. I believe in joy because joy comes from the inner spirit. I want you to share something that you want to share with me and our audience, that you can touch them because you have it in your spirit. I sense it, I see it, and I know it's there. We both have gone through many challenges and adversities to get to where we're at today. And we got a lot longer to go. So share that little secret you got. I know
I don't know if I have secrets or but I think that the most important thing is for everybody when we are challenged to recognize that we've already gotten through challenges. And to stay attached to it will work out. And, you know, there's 4 main building blocks for Wins for Life, and they are values, balance, adversity, and mental strength. And there's all kinds of subsets that come from those 4 main building blocks. For example, with values, you know, it could be leadership, it could be communication, it could be professionalism, you know, it could be what we just talked about, following your passion, you know, religion, family, all the things that we all can relate to. But adversity is the thing that often can trip us up. And, you know, you asking, you know, what would I would like to share? I would like to share the value of really believing in yourself.
Yes.
And not quitting, particularly during times of challenge, recognizing that challenges are actually an opportunity to grow.
Yes.
You know, right? And, you know, and I've failed many times when I have failed, right? How I responded to that might be negative emotion or frustration.
Yes.
And I think when we recognize that these are actually opportunities for us to move through and grow from, when we flip the script and when we change the dialogue, and understanding that we've gotten through difficult things before and we will again. I think that is something for people to hold on to. When they start to lose faith and hope, it's important that they remember that they've managed difficulty before, and they will again.
Well, I don't want to conclude, because we will have my brother back on at a little different date on some other subjects that's going to be inspiring to all of you. So I say today, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And it was so awesome to see you.
But it's great to see you and feel your energy, Charles. You know, I know this community, this area means a lot to you, and I hope, you know, anybody that's listening today taps into the Voice of the Valley moving forward and discovers their own wins for life.
But before you, tell me about this book a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't set out to write a book. It kind of happened organically. It's a poetry book. Has 8 chapters, 4 poems per chapter, 32 poems, and there's actually a 33rd poem that summarizes the entire book. So, you know, speaking of difficulty, I was going through a little bit of a challenging time period, and thought to myself, man, I've written some random poems here and there. I wonder how many I have. And so I added them up, and there were 14, and then I just decided, hey, why don't we try to organize this? And here we are, you know, now I've got El Libro, right? And the book presentations is something that's, using your word, joy. It's joyous for me because it's, again, part of my mission, which is, you know, to help support people. And those author talks are inspirational and motivational, and that's what the poems are about. They're supposed to touch people's spirit.
Good.
Yeah, and stimulate thought, you know?
Good.
So thanks for asking me about that.
Yes, that's very important.
Appreciate that.
Everyone you need to get this book. I'm trying to tell you, you know.
Yeah, and if you'd like to reach out to Wins for Life, our email address, wins, W-I-N-S, the number 4, the word life, at cox.net, cox.net. Office number 860-645-1934. You're not going to find us on social media. So, you know, that might be a professional mistake, but I really believe in grassroots and word of mouth. It's the most natural form of advertising. I'm sure my company might be a little more successful if I were on social and maybe perhaps down the road. But for now, this is the type of stuff.
Right. That's what I wanted to do, a one-on-one, so we're putting a face to who's doing what they're doing.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate that.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too.